Hello, I'm Holly Crawford, Director of the County of San Diego's Office of Emergency Services. Welcome to a step-by-step overview of the Be Aware, Be Prepared curriculum, intended to better acquaint teachers with valuable instructional materials available to you at no charge. This curriculum was developed in partnership with the County of San Diego Office of Education and the county's Office of Emergency Services, and funded with federal grant dollars. The curriculum directly reflects the overarching intent and goals of the Common Core state standards and the Next Generation Science standards. In it, students build knowledge about geological systems of the Earth, as well as natural disasters and disaster preparation through print and technology sources and collaborative research. We knew it would also be needed to align the three shifts in instructional practices of building knowledge through content-rich nonfiction, reading, writing, and speaking grounded in evidence from text, both literary and informational, and regular practice with complex text and its academic language. In addition, reading, speaking, listening, and writing are intentionally woven throughout the unit. Rich and rigorous, evidence-based conversations about text are encouraged among students and with teachers, and discussions will occur that stay deeply connected to the text so that students make evidentiary arguments. Students revisit the text for evidence to support their claim in a thoughtful, careful, and precise way. Each of the readings is leveled to fall within the 4th and 5th grade Lexile stretch band. There are 2 notebooks, one for teachers that includes instructional notes, and one for students with full-color pictures. Materials are available for download to use electronically, or hard copies can be ordered at no cost through the ReadySanDiego website and sent to your school. Let's take a look at the structure of the unit. The unit uses a backwards design process. Ultimately, students will work collaboratively to research a natural disaster of their choosing and create a public service announcement to educate others during a safety fair, which is the culminating activity of the unit. Notice the 3 phases. The curriculum uses a gradual release format so that by phase 3, students are able to apply research skills as they work independently and in teams. Take time to read pages 2 and 3 to understand the layout of the unit. On page 6, you'll see the technology integration built into the unit. We've set up a Symbaloo.edu page so that teachers and students won't have to surf the web for information. Instead, you'll have trusted disaster-related websites linked to icons on one convenient site, the Symbaloo.edu page. The main Symbaloo web page has all the icons used within the unit. Natural disasters are color-coded on the main Symbaloo page. There are also separate pages for each natural disaster, which is particularly useful if you have one-to-one devices in the classroom. These individual natural disaster pages also have extra icons that student groups can use for their own research during phase 3. If for any reason the Symbaloo site is unavailable to you, there's a resource page in the back of the teacher notebook which lists all of the URLs. Page 7 includes the unit guide. This shows the overarching essential question of the unit. Students seek to answer this question as well as the guiding questions for each phase. You'll notice that tasks are listed by phase and time frames are suggested. Take a closer look at phase 2. The 5 tasks listed are repeated within each natural disaster your students will investigate. The first section, Our Amazing Earth, provides foundational knowledge for students so that they understand the geological and atmospheric systems of the Earth. Following that are studies of specific natural disasters. Teachers can choose to study all of them or select certain disasters to focus on. Each phase begins with an overview, the guiding question for the section, and a summary of the tasks. Phase 1 is an introduction to the unit and the processes you will follow. This section is meant to create interest and enthusiasm for the research students will do. Review the overview notes on Phase 2 introduction pages. This explains in more detail some ideas for structuring the learning for the research project. Also note the vocabulary notes on page 13. This explains the teaching of vocabulary for the unit. Let's take a closer look at the format of each of the tasks. These are the student notebook pages. First, each section begins with preparing to learn. It's a guiding question and short intro activity to promote interest. Next, the What You Need to Know section combines reading with note-taking and technology integration to enhance learning. Next, Show What You Know is an opportunity for students to apply knowledge, as well as deepen their learning through various activities. Here, students will create boundaries of the Earth's tectonic plates and plot real earthquakes to determine patterns. And finally, the section What You Need to Do changes the focus to disaster preparedness. Students will plan what they need to do before, during, and after each disaster in order to be safe. Each section concludes with a culminating activity that involves multimedia and writing. This allows teachers to see what students have learned during the module. The entire unit culminates with the tasks of Phase 3. Students apply the skills they've learned across the unit as they engage in group research projects to prepare for creating a public service announcement. Note that task number 1, the research project, is ongoing while students engage in tasks number 2 and 3. Here's the opening page in the student notebook for Phase 3. Students study various public service announcements before researching to create their own. The resource section at the back of the teacher notebook has several useful items. There are rubrics for scoring the public service announcement and presentation, as well as sentence starters for collaborative discussions. There's also an index for the websites, listed by page number. These are listed in case there's a need to access the website directly. We hope this video has helped you to better understand and navigate this new, exciting Common Core aligned curriculum. Using these new tools, your students will learn safety information that could be life-saving in times of crisis. Enjoy the journey with your students. Thank you for watching, and please order copies of the unit today at ReadySanDiego.org.